I went to go meet a guy for a first date at a restaurant that he chose. We met in the parking lot and he had a medium-sized box with him. When I asked what it was, he said that it was work-related and the restaurant owners were clients of his. He was a salesman for something. He disappeared for about 15 minutes while I was being seated. It was a bit awkward to be sitting at the table alone for the first 15 minutes while he double-booked our date with work. When we sat down, we chatted a lot. He wasn't ready to order for the first 30 minutes we were at the table. I decided to be a good sport about it, even though I had been sitting at the table now for 45 minutes and hadn't ordered anything but water yet. During the chatting, he admitted to me he trades goods for free meals at the restaurant. If, for example, the goods he is selling is worth $100 retail, the restaurant will give him a meal worth the same. He said that the cost of the goods are much lower than the actual retail price, just as the cost to the restaurant for the meal is lower than the menu price. It made sense. We ate, and for a few reasons other than the meal trade, I had decided we weren't right for one another. The following day when he texted me, I let him know that I didn't feel a spark, and I would not be seeing him again. He then told me I owed him money for my half of the meal. He said it was customary if a woman decides it's a one-time thing to have paid for her own meal. I would, sort of, agree, but in this case, he didn't even pay for the meal at all, so I'm not sure. He is talking to me as if I had an agenda to have gotten a free meal out of him before I had even met him. Comment 1. NTA. Weird situation. He was rude from the get-go by making you wait. He could have set the date time for later so you wouldn't have to sit there hungry. Comment 2. Dude really played it badly. Should have shown up early and done all his business beforehand. Be waiting at the table for his date when she shows up. Have a normal date. Then at the end, play the hero and tell her that he's got the entire meal already covered for her, no need to pay at all. Don't mention the side deal with the manager at all. Would have come off hugely better. Story 2, celebrating my birthday without my friends after they rescheduled around babysitters again. I've, 26F, been part of this friend group since college. We're close and consistently hang out and have friend game nights. The kicker? I'm the only person in the group without kids. Everyone else is busy raising toddlers and infants. While it seems fair that they've been putting on more and more adults-only events, fancy dinners, wine tastings, and events, great, right? No. The adults-only events are literally during times that I'm working my restaurant shifts, evenings/weekends, because those are the times their babysitters are available. I've expressed multiple times that it would be great to have daytime events or meet during the week to do things since my schedule is very flexible during the day. They always say, "Oh, we'll try that for the next time," but it never happens. Last month was the last straw. My birthday fell on a Sunday, and I asked them if we could do a celebration during the day since I was working that night, and they agreed. Then the day before my celebration the group chat exploded that they were actually now changing it to evening because Sarah's babysitter cancelled but can do 7 p.m. instead. I was so done at that point. I made my own plans for my birthday with my co-workers who were able to show up and post pictures on social media having the best time at brunch and escaping an escape room. Now my original friend group is hurt that I didn't even tell them we changed the plans. They are now calling me petty and that I should understand that finding childcare is hard, but I'm over being the only one who is expected to accommodate everyone else 100% of the time. But I think my job counts as an adult responsibility too, and I shouldn't have to miss my own birthday for their babysitter problems. Comment 1. NTA, if Sarah's babysitter cancelled, that means Sarah has to miss the event. It doesn't mean your birthday gets rescheduled around Sarah's needs. However, your friends have made it clear that their bond of motherhood is a priority and you aren't in that club, so I'd suggest just making friends with normal people who don't get knocked up young instead. Comment 2. NTA, too many people with children think child-free people's time means less, or is less important, than theirs because of a decision they made. It's gross. Story 3. Eating ice cream every night just like I always do and not stopping just because my sister-in-law doesn't want my niece to see it. Most nights after dinner, I eat a small ice cream cone. It's literally the little Joy mini cups with a teeny scoop of ice cream. Maybe a big scoop if I'm having a rough day, but that's kinda rare. I don't drink alcohol or smoke weed or do anything fun, so this is my one fun thing I do for myself. My brother and his wife and daughter are staying with me for a few weeks. They'll be gone by June 15th. I'm happy to have them here. Usually we'll eat dinner together and go our separate ways for the evening. They watch a lot of TV, so they're usually all in the living room watching. I've been eating my lil cone, but my sister-in-law approached me and asked me if I could stop. She said that my niece is starting to ask why she doesn't get to have ice cream, and that obviously she was lied to by my sister-in-law when she told her ice cream is a sometimes food, haha. I said that I wasn't going to stop, but I could wait until she was in bed. I figured that was a good compromise, and I do get that she's trying to raise her little girl to have a healthy relationship with food. But waiting until she was in bed didn't work because she came into the kitchen multiple times to ask me for some. My sister-in-law was definitely a little incredulous over it and kept saying, "Really? Do you seriously need to eat ice cream every single day? Or stuff like it?" I said no, but she also doesn't need to drink a glass of wine every day either. She didn't like this and sighed a bunch and has been visibly annoyed with me since then. My brother asked me if I could stop just to avoid the drama, but I said I deserve my little treats. Comment 1. Tell her to stop drinking wine every day. This is your home. You are an adult. Tell her to not bring wine into your home. NTA. Comment 2. NTA. I cannot stand parents like this. The world is not going to cater to your child. If they bend every little thing because they don't want to deal with their child asking for stuff, how is your niece ever going to learn to accept no? Kid needs to learn sometimes people have things they can't have, especially adults. Keep eating your ice cream, ignore your sister. Story 4, cancelling a trip because my friend can't afford it. I, 20F, have a close friend, 21F, who has been asking me for months to go to LA for a fun summer trip. Now, we live around 8 hours away, so I kinda just assumed we would fly, and the other day when she brought it up I told her we should probably book our flight soon. To that she looked really confused and told me how she couldn't afford plane tickets and she wanted to drive. I was sorta confused because if she can't afford a $150 plane ticket, how was she planning to pay for the activities and places she wants to go, Nobu, jet skiing, shopping, clubs etc., which all add up quick. She also doesn't have her license, which means I would have to do all the driving, which would be hard as I have bad back issues and driving for so long would be painful. She kinda just laughed and said since I have money she assumed I would pay for a majority of her expenses. I was shocked because why would she assume I would pay for her expenses without even asking? I have no problem covering something like drinks or ice cream, but to assume I would pay for everything by myself except for the hotel? We had previously agreed to split the hotel 50-50. I told her that this trip was her idea and she shouldn't have asked me to go. She was expecting me to pay for everything. She's upset and complaining about how it's unfair since I can afford to pay for her. Comment 1. NTA. At least she showed her true colors. In your shoes, I'd tell a friend like this that I was hurt by the assumption and felt used. I'd need some time to think about things, and to give some space. You'll reach out when you're ready to discuss again. Comment 2. You paying for pretty much everything was exactly why she asked you to go. She's not your friend, she thinks you're an ATM.